Starting with the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Welcome in the fieldwork practicum orientation session. You know, fieldwork is the integral and core component of social work profession, and no social work education is considered complete without learning fieldwork practicum. There is a Chinese proverb that's very popular that we see, we forget. We see, we forget. We listen, we remember. We listen, we remember. We do, we learn. Means learning by doing. Learning by doing. So keeping that philosophy in mind, social work education always includes field work practicum. For the practice, we go in the field, we work with the individuals, groups, clients, communities, families, organizations to enhance their social functioning, and out of all that practice we learn the professionalism of social work. So right now we are going to learn about fieldwork practicum, what is fieldwork, how is fieldwork, and why is fieldwork, right? So these are the important dimensions that we will try to encompass. And you see, for the social worker, society is a laboratory. Society is our lab, but this lab is without walls. This lab is without boundaries. So let's learn and let's see what is social work practicum all about, why it is important, and how we can train our students and how we can get a better training through different procedures and methodologies. You see, social work education basically includes two main components. One is practice and other is theory. Theory plus practice is social work education. Social work education means theory and practice, where we learn something in the classroom, where we learn theories in the classroom. That is a classroom learning. In fact, learning practical things in the field is called practice, right? So practice means our fieldwork practicum. You see, here it is given, fieldwork practicum. Fieldwork placement is a structured learning experience and opportunity of integrating classroom knowledge with field-based learning, whereby a student is placed in an agency under the supervision of professional staff, members of the agencies, and supervision from the academic institution for a specific number of days. What we do in fieldwork, department, university has a full-fledged arrangement for the fieldwork activities. For this, we place our students in different agencies. We form the groups. Students go in different agencies and they work under the supervision of qualified social workers, both from department and agency. In the agency, they perform various activities which fall in the mandate of social work learning, and out of all that process, we learn social work practicum. Rather, we learn the practicality of social work. Here we have some terms that also refer to field work practicum, like field work practicum, placement internship, field placement, field education, field instruction, field work. They all are interchangeably used terms. They all mean field work of social work. They all mean field work practicum. They all mean field work education. Importance of field work, importance of field practicum, importance of field instruction. Firstly, translating theory into practice, that in fieldwork practicum, we try to translate theory into practice. Means we apply knowledge in the field, in the society, while working with the people who are in trouble, who are facing various social problems. So the main purpose of fieldwork practicum is to translate social work theory into practice. Number two is helps in measuring compatibility of theoretical knowledge and learning with the needs and problems of society. It also helps to learn how social work theory is compatible according to the current needs and problems of society. So where we are translating theory into practice, there we are also learning, students are also learning the compatibility of theory with the current problems, with the current needs of society. Third is, new knowledge is developed while testing the already acquired knowledge. Where we are practicing theory, where we are testing the compatibility, there we are also trying to learn the importance and testability and the workability of the present knowledge, that how useful it is, how workable it is in the present circumstances with the prevailing problems of the communities and societies. Fostering collaboration between Department of Social Work and social service agencies. So field work is also important. Why? Because here we develop relationships between social work department and different social service agencies, various organizations, various human development organizations. So we both come into collaboration, we both come into contact, where department is teaching students various theoretical things. There the field agencies, various social agencies, various organizations, they are training our students to grow into a professional social worker. This is why collaboration, cooperation is mandatory. Serves as an instrument of socialization. Importance of field work, field practicum also reflects from this reality that we try to socialize all the social work students by putting them in the market, by putting them in the different organizations where they get socialized to become professional social worker for the future. Presently, we all are learning this discipline. We are the para-professionals. When we work in the field, we are in attachment with different organizations. In fact, we are socializing ourselves. We are training ourselves to learn different roles of social work, which are necessary for a professional worker to be qualified in for the future. Helps in building skills necessary for a professional social work practitioner. So all the skills that are necessary for a professional social worker, all the techniques and methodologies which a social worker is supposed to learn through this field work, we learn those things, we learn those roles, and again this helps us in becoming an effective and impressive social work practitioner. And point number 5, you see in the brackets it is given signature pedagogy. Signature pedagogy is the popular term that refers to field work practice, means your anticipatory socialization. Today you are students, you are learning, tomorrow you will be supposed to work with different organizations, right? So to learn your role of tomorrow, you have to practice different things today, and this practice is called signature pedagogy or anticipatory socialization, to make students, to make learners better professional, effective social workers in future. Learning objectives. What are some of the important learning objectives? Why we do field work? Why do we go in different organizations? What is the purpose behind that? So here we have certain learning objectives. Normally we go in the field, we work in the field, we work with different placements to learn these skills like professional behavior. We have to learn professional behavior. We have to learn professionalism from personal self to professional self. So growth from personal self to professional self is carried out in field work settings by working with different organizations. Communication skills. A good social worker needs to be effective communicator. He must or she must have very good communication skills while working with individuals, groups and communities. So how to learn? We go in the field, we work with the agencies, we work with the people, and out of all that working, we learn communication skills. Record keeping skills. Whatever a social worker does, whatever activities we undertake, we have to write them down. That is called record keeping. So for our ready reference, for the reference in future, for presenting your work, we need to keep the record, we need to write the report. So where we are learning communication skills, there we are learning record keeping skills. Report writing skill, again, report writing skills and record keeping skills are quite linked with each other on everyday basis. Whatever the activity you do, we have to write daily report, everyday report. We have to maintain the daily diary. So the place that you visit, the discussion that you make, the activity that you carry on, right, the people that you meet, we have to write it down. That is called the record keeping. So in field, through practicum, we learn report writing skills. Conflict resolution skills. In the communities, in the groups, in the organizations, people have conflict. They have clash of interest. they are having poor working relationships, they are having unhealthy relationships. So a social worker has to learn it, how to resolve the conflict, how to settle down the conflict, how to reduce the intensity of conflict to bring people into better relationship for working together for their collective improvement and development. To learn management and administrative skills. It is also one of our learning goals that we have to learn administrative skills, event management. You are assigned different activities, different events, different programs to organize program, to organize event. It is in fact a managerial skill, a management skill, event management, administrative skill, how to run an office, how to coordinate with your team members, how to coordinate with your team leader and the part of team. Leadership skills. Again, we have to learn how to be a good leader, how to be an effective leader, how to be an impressive leader, how to be a leader who can lead the people in the right direction. So where we are learning other skills, there every social worker has to learn a leadership skill while working with different people in different settings and different natural life settings. Next is mobilization skills. Mobilization, lies at the heart of social work. We have to mobilize people, we have to mobilize communities, individuals for change of behavior, for change of lifestyle, to stand up against the problems, to fight the problems in their life. We have to mobilize, we have to convince, we have to galvanize the people. So a good social worker has to be a good social mobilizer, and for this again we learn this skill from the practicum, from the field work activities. Problem solving skill. While working with the people, different problems arise. While working for the people, again, problems, they come up, they creep up in your everyday activities. We have to be efficient. We have to be, skillful enough how to solve the problem at the spot. That is called a troubleshooting, ability. So a social worker, again, has to be good at shooting the trouble, solving the problems at spot. Public speaking skill, again, how to speak in public, lobbying skills, advocacy skills, assessment skills, counseling skills. So where other skills are necessary to learn, their advocacy skill, how to advocate any social cause, how to advocate for the vulnerable and marginalized people, lobbying skills, assessment skills to make assessment about the problem, about the intensity of the problem, about the reality of the problem an individual is facing, group is facing, or the communities are facing. And the counseling skill, usually when we work with the individuals in social casework setting, we have to do counseling of the clients, and a social worker again has to learn these skills. So this is a complete package that we have to learn. These are our objective of fieldwork placement. Right now you all are placed with different organizations, and this is your target to learn. These are the skills that you are going to learn through your fieldwork activities to become a professional, effective social worker for future. Types of placement, some practices of different universities, like block fieldwork placement, concurrent fieldwork placement, individual fieldwork placement, and group fieldwork placement. Some universities, they place their students on daily basis for the fieldwork activities. Like first they take a course for 2 months, for 3 months. After completing the course in the university, they simply go for the placement, and they have to go in the field on daily basis, right, for a month, for a couple of months. So first they complete the course, then they go in the field. That is called the block fieldwork placement. And other is the concurrent. Concurrent mean you are taking your lectures, your courses, and on alternative days you go in the field to work with the organizations for the field work practicum. So currently the practice that we have in our university, in our department, that is a concurrent field work placement. Another is individual field work placement, whereby a student is placed in an organization and he or she has to work alone with that agency in that placement. Right now we have the practice of the groups. We go in the form of the groups, students go in the form of groups. That is called the group fieldwork placement. So here in our setup we have concurrent fieldwork placement, and that is a group fieldwork placement. We don't go for individual fieldwork placement and we don't go for block fieldwork placement. Components of fieldwork means what are the important elements, what are the stakeholders who together make fieldwork possible, right? So there are 6 components like fieldwork coordinator, academic supervisor, agency supervisor, students, department, and social agency. We have these 6 components. They all together make fieldwork activities possible, make field practicum possible. If we drop students or agency or supervisors or department, fieldwork process can never be carried out. First we have department, social work department. That is one of the most important component of fieldwork, and role of social work department is department ensures placement of students in appropriate fieldwork settings and agencies. So this is the fundamental role of department, to arrange placements and to find out appropriate agencies, keeping the learning needs of students in mind. Second is provides manual guidelines to supervisors, agencies, and students for field work practice. Second role of the department is to provide students guidelines in form of manuals, in form of instructions, in form of modules. Right now what I am doing is also the role of department. In fact, the department is trying to acquaint and orient the students about the importance of field work, about what, why, and how of field work. A department specifies types of activities and areas of intervention that students must be exposed to. So again, department is there to set certain boundaries, to set certain limits at what a student is supposed to do in the field and what activities fall out of the mandate of social work profession. Support students and agency supervisors in working together. So again, department is always there to coordinate between students and agency, between learners and agency, for better learning, for better cooperation, and for long-term cooperation. Next is role of fieldwork coordinator. You know, we have a fieldwork coordinator and I am shouldering this responsibility right now. What is the role of fieldwork coordinator? Identification and evaluation of appropriateness of field placements for the learning needs of students. So this is the responsibility of fieldwork coordinator, to identify and to measure the appropriateness of agencies according to the learning needs of students. Forms gender balanced group, 7 to 5 members. It is also responsibility of fieldwork coordinator to form groups, 5 to 7 member groups, gender balanced. And you know, formation of group is up to the will of the coordinator. We don't take any choice from the students. Why? Because where we are learning other things, there we have to learn this, how to work with different people, how to work with different people in my team, and we learn how to keep up with the people who are different from me in thinking, in behavior, in personality, in background. Issues placement letters to agencies. It is also the role of fieldwork coordinator to issue letters to agencies, and the letter carries the request for the placement. Letter contains name of the list of students, and letter contains the purpose of the placement and type of activities students are supposed to do with that agency. So this is the responsibility of a fieldwork coordinator to issue the letters, placement letters. And I guess you all have been issued these letters. Next is developing and maintaining an up-to-date database of agencies and students. Responsibilities of coordinator also include to maintain a database of students, profiles of the students and agencies, right? So the students, their placement, group members, type of agency, type of activities which they are doing, there must be a database, and this is the responsibility of fieldwork coordinator. Attends concerns, questions, problems from students, agency and supervisor, both academic and agency supervisor. All the problems while working with the people, while performing various activities in your field work, all the problems, all the concerns, all the questions, coordinator is always available to attend them, to sort them out, to settle them down. Surprise supervisory visits of placement. So this is also the part of the responsibility to make supervisory visits, surprise supervisory visits, to ensure the presence of student, to ensure the right direction of the activities, and to ensure their cooperation with the agency and the agency staff. Organizing fieldwork seminar at the end of term. So at the end of the term, when your semester ends, after the final term examination, responsibility of coordinator includes to organize a fieldwork seminar where all the groups will present their performance, their activities, their learning, and about their placement, I mean the orientation, about the profile of their orientation of their agency would be shared there. Role of academic supervisor. Academic supervisor means the supervisor from the department. Supervisor from the department is called academic supervisor. Provides permanent guidelines to the students during fieldwork practice. Permanent guidelines always come from the academic supervisor on regular basis. Supervisor will make supervisory visits to the agency where students are placed. So apart from fieldwork coordinator, your academic supervisor will also pay supervisory visits to the placements to ensure your presence and your working and your compatibility with the given guidelines. A regular meeting on weekly basis with the students to check on the progress of the students. So regular meetings, and regular meeting mean at least one meeting in a week. A weekly evaluation of field activity reports submitted by the students. So students will submit their reports on weekly basis, and academic supervisor will evaluate them, will check them, and then there will be a discussion with the students about their activities. At the end of each placement, supervisor will be responsible to evaluate students' work. On completion of your term, I mean your semester, this is the academic supervisor who will evaluate your performance. I mean evaluation in terms of your ranking, your grading, and your marking. So he will be awarding you marks according to your activities, according to your contribution, your learning, and your performance in the exam, means in the viva. Next is role of agency supervisor. Agency supervisor means the person who is supervising you in the agency, from the agency, that is called agency supervisor. Agency supervisor should be a member of staff of the organization and be better grounded in social work education and its values. So number one, the agency supervisor is always from that organization you are placed in, and he should have a better understanding of social work profession and its values. He or she orients, deploys, and assigns different tasks to the students for their professional development. Your agency supervisor will assign you tasks, will deploy you to different places for various activities, and he will always be there to guide, to facilitate, and to supervise you. Provides day-to-day supervision to the students. Supervisor guides to be creative, innovative, to utilize all their capacities and potential. So he will be guiding and helping you to be creative, to use your maximum talent, potential, and abilities. The agency supervisor monitors, evaluates, assesses, and grades the student's performance. So where academic supervisor is grading you, is evaluating you, their agency supervisor will also make an assessment about your performance. He will be evaluating, she will be evaluating your activities, your learning, and finally you will be awarded marks, grades according to the evaluation which they make. Role of social agency means the placement, the office, the agency where you are working, where you are placed. Agency assigns a supervisor for the students. So this is the duty of the agency, to assign a supervisor, full-time supervisor for the students. Agency provides adequate space such as office, interviewing room, record keeping facility, and other resources needed by the students. So place to sit, place to do interviews of the clients, Similarly, you need an arrangement, a place to keep your record like this. So all these facilities would be given to the students by the agency. Agency provides students appropriate administrative supportive environment through fieldwork process. So again, a kind of a administrative, supportive, conducive, helping, facilitating environment to make your learning better. Provides and facilitates opportunities for the students to become familiar with the role of agency, its staff, and the impact of working on community. So it is the responsibility of the agency to tell you about the role of agency, its impact on the society, its so far contribution, various projects which the agency has been doing currently, what are they doing right now. So this is the responsibility of agency to acquaint and orient students about their working. A regular correspondence with the university regarding activities and performance of students. Regular communication between agency and department to share the performance and activities of the students. So this is again the part of the responsibilities of agency to communicate with the department on regular basis, to update fieldwork coordinator regarding activities and role and performance of social work students. Role of students. Here comes your role, the most important part. Students are required to be regular, punctual, and follow the timetable of agency. So regularity, punctuality, and compliance with the timetable of the agency is the responsibility of the students. If they call you at 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., you are supposed to be there. If they call you at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., again you are supposed to be there. So we, the students, are responsible to follow the timetable of the agency by being regular and punctual. Students are required to be dressed up in a decent and modest way. You know, in the fieldwork activities, we are not supposed to wear the uniform, university uniform, but in very decent and modest dress. Why? Because you are outside in the field, in the society, working with different people in different situations, in different settings. Their dressing must be decent, dressing must be modest. Students are expected to conduct meeting with the supervisors and report to coordinator. So it's a responsibility of students to organize meeting with their supervisors and then report to the coordinator on regular basis. Students are expected to discuss, plan, and execute activities under the supervision of supervisors. Where students are attending different activities organized by the agency, there it is the responsibility of the students to discuss, plan, and organize their own activities, right? And this is necessary as a role of social work student when in the field, that they must arrange some of the activities which are the product of their own intellectual work and field work. Students will chalk out monthly work plan. You will make a monthly work plan of action on monthly basis. Like in the first week of month, you all will make a plan for the whole week. From the calendar, you take the dates every Tuesday, every Thursday, total 8 days in a month, and what you will be doing in these 8 days, we write them down. That is called work plan of action for the whole month, right? The format of this work plan will be given to you in hard form. On-time completion of task assigned by agency supervisor and keep the record of all activities. Students are expected to periodically brief the agency supervisor on their task and progress. So you will brief agency supervisor about your activities on periodic basis. Submission of daily reports to academic supervisors and agency supervisor on every Monday and Tuesday respectively. So students will submit their field reports, their daily reports to the academic supervisor on every Monday and to the agency supervisor on every Tuesday, right? So this is a set, practice that on every Monday you will be submitting your daily reports to your academic supervisor and the very next day to your agency supervisor. Students should not make home or community visits without informing agency supervisor. So whatever the place you visit, community or any follow-up visit to the home of the clients, to the family of the client, you must inform your supervisors. So your every outdoor activity must be in the notice of your supervisor for the security purpose. Students will maintain fieldwork activity pictorial display corner. All the activities that you undertake in the field, you need to take the pictorials of those activities for evidence purpose, and number two, you will display your pictorial record on the display corner with the caption that you have been doing this and that activity in the field so and so, with the community so and so, with the individual so and so, for the information of department and other fellows. Fieldwork ethics. You know, social work is a profession that also follows certain code of ethics. This is why while working in the field, social work professionals have to follow certain code of ethics. Like display of objectivism means your personal feelings, your personal liking, your personal choices are held back, and you have to be objective, you have to be neutral, you have to be professional. That is called objectivism. A social worker must display objectivity while working with the people who are in difficult situations. Respect to the human beings. We have to respect all the human beings regardless of their color, caste, creed, age, gender, ethnicity, background. Confidentiality, privacy. We need to maintain the privacy of the clients, of the groups. So this is again part of code of ethics for every social worker to ensure. Informed consent. Without the consent of the client or group, we cannot share the information with any other person. So if you need to share the information with others, first you need to take the consent from your client or the group. Acting in the best interest of the client, protection of human rights of clients and other stakeholders, non-discrimination. A social worker never discriminates. So we never discriminate people on the basis of their religion, race, ethnicity, color, language, gender, like this. Avoiding personal relationships. While working in the field, while doing field work, practicum, we never build personal relationships. We never develop friendships. We work only as a professional, and professionalism demands to keep your personal feelings in control. So you have to work only under the professional relationships. We are not supposed to build personal relationships and personal attachments. Compliance of social work principles and procedures, adherence to the agency code of ethics. So where social work has some code of ethics to perform, there that social agency, your placement, they have also some code of ethics. They also follow certain ethics. So you are supposed to follow those ethics as well. You know, fieldwork committee in the department, and we are 3 members in the committee. One is the coordinator, and the type is concurrent fieldwork placement. Other is the group fieldwork placement with 5 to 7 members. Settings, we have normally 3 settings: social casework setting, social group work setting, and community development setting. These are the 3 possible settings, but normally we go for the first one, social casework setting, and the third one, community development setting. Social agencies, currently the social agencies we are working with, where our students are placed, some of them are given here, like Deputy Director Social Welfare, Urban Community Development Project, Darul Atfal Male, Darul Atfal Female, mean orphanages, a District Industrial Home, Shelter Home, Consumer Protection Council, Pelican Development Organization, Idara Talim o Agahi, Medical Social Services Unit BVH, Model Drug Abuse Center BVH. They are some of the placements we are working with right now. We have many others as well, but for your information, just I have brought this list. Fieldwork record keeping, compilation and submission. You know, maintaining the fieldwork attendance. First one, that we have to maintain the attendance For the attendance, we have developed a format. I will share that format with you today, inshallah, and you all will maintain your attendance record according to that format. And on the end of your term, when we make a report, that attendance record will be the part of that report to ensure your presence and your role in the activities. Daily field report or daily journal. Submission of daily report to the academic supervisor on every Monday, and same is to the agency supervisor on every Tuesday. The format of the report is also developed, and that will be shared with you soon, inshallah, in the hard form, maybe in the soft form as well. Keeping minutes of every meeting with agency supervisor. When you do conduct any meeting with your supervisors, we have to write the minutes of meeting. What was discussed in the meeting, what was the agenda of meeting, what was decided in the meeting. So discussions, agenda and decisions, that is written in form of minutes. What is the format of that? You will be given that format as well. Annual fieldwork report on completion of field practicum term. When we write daily activity reports on completion of your semester, rather the 2 semesters, completion of 1 year, when you complete your turn with any placement agency, you have to write an annual report, a comprehensive report, a detailed report that includes all of your learning, your activities, your performance, your challenges. Fine, that is called annual report. The format of annual report will also be shared with you in soft form, in the hard as well. And after 5th and 6th semester, on the completion of the 6th semester, you will be writing that annual comprehensive report. Post pictures of activities on pictorial display corner on weekly basis, that you will be posting your pictures on pictorial corner, pictures of your fieldwork activities. Evaluation on completion mean evaluation of your field work activities. Presentation, students will present their performance, task, learning and challenges in fieldwork seminar on completion of every term, mean every year. We will organize a fieldwork seminar where all the groups will present their activities, their performance, their learning and challenges with the recommendations. So group will have to present in front of all the department, all the students, faculty members, academic supervisors, agency supervisors. They will attend that seminar and every group will present his work, his performance or the activities which they carried out. On multimedia, it could be a poster presentation, venue, departmental auditorium. Seminar will be attended by faculty members, students and agency supervisors. Every presentation session will be followed by a question answer session. Second is the Viva WAS examination. On completion of every semester, a Viva examination will be conducted to evaluate the performance of students, and Viva examination will be conducted both by agency and academic supervisor. So your agency supervisor and your academic supervisor, they both will organize that Viva, they both will conduct that Viva, and they both will evaluate your performance to grade you to grade you and to grant you marks. Venue, that will be department, and that could be your agency office as well. Evaluation will be based on your attendance, activities, skills that you have learned, reports and performance. So your Viva evaluation will be based on these 5-6 components. A formal closing of fieldwork term. After completing the term of fieldwork, we will formally announce the closure of that fieldwork placement, and we will write a letter of thanks to the agency supervisor. We will present a souvenir, I mean the students will present a souvenir to acknowledge their services regarding your learning and training. And thirdly, we will arrange a farewell tea with our supervisor. I guess when it was your first day at the placement, you all were served with a cup of tea? Yes. And when it is the last day, you will do the same to your supervisors. Yes? Is it a good idea? that is the farewell tea that you will formally announce the closure of your fieldwork term. Some of the job opportunities just for your motivation purpose. This is the model of our pictorial display. Inshallah, from the very next month, we will be starting displaying, posting all the activity pictures on that board. Ji, thank you very much. And now, if you have any question regarding your field activity, reports, or whatever you want to learn. Ji, everything is clear? Should we close it right now? So deliberately I have shortened the presentation due to the environment inside this hall, and I hope that you all have taken the basic understanding about the fieldwork, its importance, and what you are supposed to do in future, right? And all the formats of daily report writing, of developing your plan of action, your attendance sheet, and your annual report. I will be sharing with you in the group, and you may take the hard copy from clerk office, from fieldwork coordinator office as well. So thank you so much for being the part of this orientation session. Again, Allah Hafiz. जाएं अब